Hey guys, welcome back to Serial at Midnight. My name is Heath Holland, and it is a huge physical media new release episode. This is one of our super shows. You know, I try to do these once a month, but because we're living in the era that we are living in, sometimes I have to do them more than once a month. We are covering labels, releases from all over the world. I think about 20 titles from VCI, from Arrow, from Blue Underground, from 88 Films, from Eureka, from Radiance. It just goes on and on. So we have a ton of ground to cover, all new 4Ks, Blu-rays, even some DVDs. But first, I want to thank Hamilton Book for sponsoring this video. I am so excited to have Hamilton Book as a sponsor. It's a company I have been using for years. You guys know I've been talking about Hamilton Book for years, talking about the value on that site, the value from that catalog. There are things that you can find on the Hamilton Book site that you can't find anywhere else. And when Richard Hamilton, the owner of the company, decided to start doing interviews, I was the first one. Serial at Midnight was the first Hamilton Book look inside the company at Hamilton Book. So I am tremendously excited to be talking about this company, that they're sponsoring this video. I want to use this opportunity. Oh, I should also mention that as I'm recording this video, this is a new drop week. You know, they put new merchandise, new editions on their sites once a month, roughly. And this is that week. As I'm recording this video, as this video is going up, there is new inventory at Hamilton Book. So I'm going to link in the description of this episode for that. But I wanted to use these videos also, the Hamilton Book sponsors. I wanted to talk about things from that online catalog that maybe have flown under the radar. And that leads me to The Protege, which is a film that I saw in the theater when it came out. I think it was a 2021 movie. It's a few years old. It's got Maggie Q in it. It's Michael Keaton, for crying out loud, and Samuel L. Jackson. Now, like I said, I saw this in the theater. It wasn't getting a ton of, like, nobody really went to see this then. And it has consistently kind of flown under the radar. It's a retro-style action movie, really done. It feels like a 90s movie. It kind of feels like a Luc Besson movie, if you know what I mean. It's got that style and approach to it. It's about sort of, you know, assassins in the world of hitmen and the world of you know, secret covert operations. And it's just a lot of fun. The 4K for this is under $10 at Hamilton Book. Now, you're not going to find it that price anywhere else. You're not going to find it on any of their I'm not going to name the big major outlets, but we know who I'm talking about. You're not going to find it there. And if you do find it, it's not going to be under $10. So this is just one example of something that I wanted to shout out as being an exceptional value at Hamilton Book. And as we talk about these new releases, remember to check Hamilton Book to see if these are in stock there, because they are going to be a low price leader for many new releases. They don't just sell catalog titles and things that they've acquired from other companies. They also sell new releases every single month. Everything they sell is new, but they get new releases as well. The latest releases, things that we're going to talk about that are just hitting shelves right now, they have in stock right now. So thanks to Hamilton Book. Without further ado, let's get started. I'm going to kick us off with Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 3. So this just arrived on Blu-ray. Now, this is Warner Brothers. They did a 4K release for these and a Blu-ray release. So I requested this. I got a Blu-ray. I did not get the 4K. The code that it comes with redeems in 4K. So that's just, you know, if you're curious about how that works, the digital version is actually a better version than this. I have a little bit to say about this. In fact, I think I've saved, so I'm starting with the thing I have the most to say about, and I'm going to end this with something else that I have the most to say about. For a lot of the stuff that we're going to talk about, I haven't seen it. Full disclosure, I've only taken the shrink wrap off. Tried to stay as blind on it as possible so that when I do fire up the camera, we can experience that together. We can explore and discover it together. But I did watch Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 3. This is the last of the trilogy. I've seen all three of these movies now. I tried to reserve judgment until the very end, until I saw how it was all wrapped up. Long story short, it's a long story. Crisis on Infinite Earths is a long story, and they did not do it shortly, I guess is what I should say. This is really... It's like 4.5 hours when you combine all three parts, and it doesn't need to be. And it's one of the most famous stories in all of comics, right? This is really the origin of the multiverse as we know it now, almost 40 years later. DC really kind of created the multiverse through the 40s and the 50s and the 60s. They would have, you know, Superboy, and then they'd have Superman, and then they'd have a different version of Superman. And they have Supergirl. They have a different version. They just keep creating these new versions of characters. And then they, well, that's from an alternate Earth. And they can all kind of cohabitate and mingle. And like, you know, the Legion of Superheroes can come and visit Superboy and all kinds of crazy stuff. It's just comics fun. And in the 80s, DC editorial was like, we got to clean this up. This is a mess. We need one unified continuity. Which, of course, now with this multiverse, whatever, that with this hellscape that we're living in where everything is multiverse, it seems like, well, that's your bread and butter. Why would you just want one continuity? And so Crisis on Infinite Earths, the comic book event, was this huge game-changing thing where they killed the Flash and he stayed dead for decades. I mean, the Barry Allen Flash was gone for literally like lifetimes, you know, for like, it was a long, long time. And nothing stays permanent in comics, right? So this was very ambitious. I'm going to give you like the pros and the cons. And I'm just talking about this thing. This is a 40-year-old story. It's not quite 40 years old, but it's coming up on 40 years. And I think, so there's pros and there's cons. The pros are, this is very, there's a lot of characters in it that we've never really seen animated before. You know, if you're a deep comic book fan and you know, you're like, if you're looking for the Atom in your comics or your movies, or you're looking for, Batjack, right? Like distant, deep comic book characters, they found a way to incorporate them here. There's also, I'm just going to go ahead and say this, it might be a slight spoiler, but it'll be okay. This is the final performance from Kevin Conroy's Batman and Mark Hamill as the Joker. Now, it takes place, the premise of the thing is that the multiverse is collapsing and all these realities are being wiped out, right? So there's a scene where the Batman, the animated series world, as we know it, is being wiped out. So we get it's like a minute, you know, it's like a minute of these characters, but we do get Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill as their last, because Kevin Conroy's left us now, and Mark Hamill's not going to do the Joker without Kevin Conroy. So we get one little glimpse into that world. I'm not going to lie, like I got goosebumps when this happens, because I love Batman the Animated Series. And as cynical as I've been about it, this whole project is just not cohesive. It's lethargic. It's like, it takes so much time to set up, and then it just uses time not well. So that's in the cons. But my point is, I got goosebumps and then they do the Justice League, the Bruce Tim verse Justice League, with that reality collapsing too. It doesn't really mean anything because none of it's real, and they can bring it back with a snap of a finger. The more looming thing here is that this is possibly the end of the DC animated line. For like 20 years, 15, 20 years, they've been doing largely incredible animated movies. And this takes place in the Tomorrowverse, which has been going on for the last, I don't know, 5 years or so maybe. And that's kind of the strange thing here. So Jensen Ackles is Batman. But it's, I think I'm running long on this considering all we have to cover. But the pros, a lot of characters. It's got a little bit of emotional weight at the very end. The cons, way too long, way too scattered. It doesn't have the emotional relevancy or depth that I think it tries to. And it makes up a lot. For one of the most famous stories in comics, they're like, we'll use that as our guide, but we're going to change most of it. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Also, I would say that since this whole universe, this Tomorrowverse, is only like 5 years old, there's not a whole lot of consequences. We don't know, you know, they do try to, you know, do this larger, you know, like, oh, it's all animated movies. But, you know, it's all changing because James Gunn is now over everything DC related at Warner Brothers. And I like to think that that big giant wave that's destroying the multiverse is James Gunn. The wave is James Gunn. We'll see what happens. There's been a Watchmen project announced that's actually coming out really soon. But outside of that, in fact, is it already out? It might even... Outside of that, there's been no new announcements for DC Animation. This might be the end of the road. And if it is, they went out with as big of a bang as I think they could make. From VCI, Dark Knight of the Scarecrow. What do we call it? It's Dark Knight of the Scarecrows 1 and 2. It's a double feature. Now listen, we all love Dark Knight of the Scarecrow 1. I've reviewed Dark Knight of the Scarecrow 2 right here. You can go look for that. Maybe I'll link to it in the description of this video. But the major selling point for you guys, if you're interested, this is 4K. And there's a new commentary for Dark Knight of the Scarecrow 1, the first one, the original, the one we all love, with Amanda Reyes, Rob Kelly, hosted by yours truly. So we had a lot of fun with this. I think It was very loose. We were very we all love Dark Knight of the Scarecrow, so we were very respectful to it, getting into the facts, looking at characters, looking at arcs, looking at themes, but we also had fun with it because it's a Dark Knight of the Scarecrow. I think at one point I even referenced Magnum PI at some point because Amanda Reyes, TV historian Amanda Reyes, loves Magnum, and there was some connection there. It was just fun, and now the reviews are starting to come in for this, and people are being very complimentary of our commentary, so I want to thank them for that. This is a 2-disc. It's going to be a 2-discer. I'm going to hold this up for you guys, and you can freeze that, and you can read it. I mean, there's a lot of features there. There's a lot of value here. Got reversible art? No, we do not. Okay, you see, I'm speeding up now. Torso, we have a lot of 4Ks here from Arrow Video. Torso on 4K from Arrow. So most of these, again, I have not even really looked at because I wanted to do it fresh with you guys. Also, like, full disclosure, I was away at Cinecon for a week. I was in Los Angeles for a week for a film festival. I made a video about it. Hopefully you've seen it. I came back to just like mountains of physical media. And I'm also working on 3 commentaries this month. So my time is not always my own, and I am just holding on. I'm on a roller coaster just holding on. So we're going to discover some of this stuff together. Brand new 4K restoration by Arrow Films. We've got the 94-minute Italian cut, the 90-minute English language cuts, Italian audio. Let's see, we got an audio commentary by Kat Ellinger. We've got an interview with Sergio Martino. We've got the discreet charm of the genre, an interview with actor Luc Miranda. Dial S for suspense. Okay, I'm just reading to you guys now, but you saw it. I bet we've got reversible cover right here. Can I show this? Yeah, that's safe. Show that. In fact, let me go ahead and flip it around. We've got, by the way, it's worth mentioning, it is only the 4K disc, so you're not getting a Blu-ray here. So if you do not have a 4K player, these are not the droids you're looking for. Here's our booklet. And is it coming through? Is it showing up? Yeah, there we go. There's a table of contents here. Probably, let's see, Adrian Smith, Howard Hughes, talking about the music. All right. Cool. So let me put this back in the slipcover here, and we're going to move on to Friday the 13th. This is the remake. This is was this 2009 that this came out? This is the, the one with Jared Padalecki, with Walker, Texas Ranger, the new Walker. Hey, we've mentioned now Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki in this episode. A lot of supernatural running through here. So this is on 4K. This just came. Interestingly enough, it didn't ship before the actual Friday the 13th. You know, we just had a Friday the 13th. All right, let's see what we've got here. You guys look at that. I'm going to check it out here. 4K, Ultra HD, two cuts, the theatrical cut and the extended killer cut. We've got double-sided fold-out poster with new artwork by Gary Pullen. Limited edition Greetings from Crystal Lake postcard. All right. Illustrated collector's booklet featuring new writing on the film. We've got a disc 1 is the theatrical cut. Disc 2 is the killer cut. Are these both let's see. That's a 4K. This is disc 2, the killer cut. That's a 4K, and disc 1 is 4K. So again, no Blu-rays here. They're not including Blu-rays. That's an interesting choice because I know for a fact it's a buck or two to press those Blu-rays. I'm interested that it's interesting. There may be some reason, but I think that they'd be doing a great service to the fans if they included the Blu-ray like so many other companies do. Here is the poster. There's the new artwork, and there is the my brain is working while I'm showing this artwork off. Maybe one of the reasons they do that is because the 4Ks are very expensive. So if they only did a Blu-ray or a 4K pack, they'd be combining those. And 4K sells less than Blu-ray, right? A lot less. So they'd probably be losing money on the 4Ks if they bundled them together. Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about that. Here's the booklet. What do you guys think about this movie? I've kind of turned into a purist with my Friday the 13th, and I really like the original. It's the Paramount owned ones, I guess. The one like 1 through 8, I guess, and even 8 gets a lot of crap, but I don't know. There's something about like the hair metal aesthetic, and Oh, hold on. We didn't do the... Oh. All right, that is for sure getting flipped around. Right there. Okay, so that's Friday the 13th. Also from Arrow, Chronicles of Riddick on 4K. So this is, you know, when did they do Pitch Black? It's been within the last couple of years. They did a big 4K release for Pitch Black. So now we have the rest of the story. Let's see what the reversible art looks. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. Okay, that's already different art. Is there a third piece? Yeah, it's the original. It's got the original poster art on the other side of this art wrap. Got to go with that. Arrow, this is an observation. Get a little nervous sharing my observations because people get so upset so easily. Arrow seems to be picking up the slack that Shout Factory has. Shout Factory is scaling back on things. They're moving more towards theatrical. And of course, they're still releasing the same movies on 4Ks and Steelbooks and things like that. But Arrow really seems to be getting into like the really mainstream, popular picks, right? That's not just me, right? Arrow's doing less deep cuts, more really, I don't want to say obvious, but crowd pleasers. Yeah. 4K, brand new 4K restoration by Arrow on the theatrical and director's cuts of the film. Does this have the animated movie? Let's see. You guys remember there was like a little animated half-hour thing when this came out? They did one for Chronicles of Riddick, and they did one for Van Helsing. It was like a side adventure, and they were animated, and it was really cool at the time. Disc 1 is the theatrical cut. Disc 2 is the director's cut. Let's see. Features, Realizing Riddick, Back to Black, a new interview. Let's see. Oh, there's a third disc here. 4K... Let's see, 4K blue theatrical. Hold on. All right, I just gotta look at this. Disc 1, theatrical cut, 4K. Disc 2, director's cut, 4K. Disc 3, limited edition exclusive. That's also a 4K. So it's 3 4Ks. What is on this? The theatrical cut in alternate 1:7:8 aspect ratio. Escape from Butcher Bay, a compilation of cutscenes from the acclaimed tie-in video game. I played that video game when it came out. That was fun. The Lowdown, a television special produced to promote the film's original release. Okay, now I have to see if they've included that animated feature here. Riddick Rises, Keep What You Kill, Creation of a New Mecha, production vignettes. Okay, there's a lot of stuff here. We've also got, no poster, but we do have this booklet. You know, the cool thing about these movies is they could go do another one. If Vin Diesel's still up for it, they could go do another one of these at any time. Okay. Let's move on to... Here's kind of a deep cut. This is The Threat. This is Kinji Fukasaku. This is... what year is this? This is 66? When it comes to Asians, you guys know, when it comes to Asian cinema, I just don't know a whole lot about some of this stuff. So this is going to be new to me. I'm familiar with studio films. Let's reverse this art. There we go. That's the alternate artwork there. The reverse slip art wrap. One disc. And here is our, here's our booklet. Make sure this is all safe. Yeah. I think with a 60s film, it would all be okay for YouTube, but that's not always the case. Poster side 1. Poster side 2. Now what do we have here? We have high definition presentation, Japanese, brand new audio commentary by Japanese film expert Tom Mez. Warning, warning, danger, danger. Brand new 20-minute video appreciation by critic and Japanese film specialist Mark Schilling. The trailer, new artwork by Tony Stella, illustrated collector booklet. Okay, nice. You guys seen this movie? What do you think about it? From Blue Underground, The Million Eyes of Sumeru. Now, listen, this is not a great movie. I do like this movie quite a bit. This is so how long ago? 6 months ago? I don't know. Time's lost all meaning for me. But at some point, we got a Blu-ray for The Girl from Rio. Maybe it was about a year ago. That is the sequel to The Million Eyes of Sumeru. It's the same character, Shirley Eaton from Goldfinger. Jill Masterson, right, is Sumeru. Sumeru was created by Sax Rohmer, the guy that created Fu Manchu. She was like the female Fu Manchu. So the whole like are we allowed to say the Yellow Scare now? That's what it was in the 20s and the 30s. So Fu Manchu was like this arch villain guy who's going for global domination, and Sax Rohmer, the creator, comes up with the Sumeru character as like the femme fatale. And by the 1960s, when this movie was made, they're really leaning into so many of the you think about Barbarella, you think about even like Danger Diabolic, the women who are, you know, the powerful, okay, so she's a supervillain essentially, and she's got a team of women, right, who are killers, and they are eliminating world leaders through the power of their sexiness, right? It feels like Austin Powers, which has to be an influence. Austin Powers has to have been influenced by movies like this. The problem here is that the women, these assassins, these powerful assassins, they can't, because it's like a man-free society, right? They live on this island and there's no men. So when they are in the presence of a man, they just can't help themselves. They're so attracted to these men. And in this one, it's George Nader, who was a gay man. That's what's even interesting about this, is like he's playing this very suave, sort of like seductive character who just, you know, like the women are just like, oh, that's why we have a commentary from David Del Valle and Dan Marino here. It is fascinating. Frankie Avalon is in this movie. This is after the Beach Party movie cycle. And one of the characters, it's self-aware, right? One of the characters is like, I think he says something like, "You're in the wrong movie." It's so silly, but it's fun, and it's got that 60s atmosphere, and it's produced by Harry Alan Towers, whose later production company, or maybe it was earlier than this, Towers of London. I just love it. It's just blatant exploitation, but with that 60s style. And then they shot a lot of it in Hong Kong, so it's got production value. And then for The Girl in Rio, they bring in Jess Franco. And I guess that's why they released that one first, because Jess Franco sells discs. But this one is not to be... Oh, Klaus Kinski is here too. With a weird... Well, I was going to say it's a weird Klaus Kinski performance, but they kind of all are, aren't they? It's a fun movie, and this is loaded up, you guys. We got audio commentary 1 with David Del Valle and Dan Marino. We got audio commentary number 2 with Nathaniel Thompson and Troy Howarth. We've got those are new, by the way, 2 brand new audio commentaries. We've got a new England's Unknown Exploitation Film Eccentric, The Schlock Cinema Legacy of Lindsay Shonteff, a new feature-length documentary directed by Naomi Hallwell. Come on, guys, a whole feature-length documentary here. The Riff Tracks version is here for The Million Eyes of Sumeru. They've got a new, let's see, oh, that's new too. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff here. This is, of course, the artwork that I love. I'm glad this is included here, because I think that is just absolutely classic. So we've got the Blu-ray, we've got the 4K here, and the other side of this art wrap is this art. So I don't know. I think I prefer this one to The Girl from Rio, but The Girl from Rio has that great bossa nova soundtrack. It sounds like Astrid Gilberto or something, but I think it's not as good of a movie. It has no plot. And this one doesn't have a great plot either, but it's a lot of fun. All right, we've got a lot of 88 films, and I think it's all of the martial arts persuasion. So this is the hotness. This is the big thing here. This is the Project A collection. This is Jackie Chan, Project A1, Project A2. 2 versions of both movies, so it's 4 films, I suppose, however you want to quantify that, in this nice, beautiful hard box. Hold that up. Freeze it. You know you want to. Oh, you know you want to. Freeze it. Yeah, look at it. Stare at it. Let's see what... I have not looked at this, guys. This came like yesterday, maybe 2 days ago, and it just went in the stack to look at with you guys. Here's a double-sided poster here. Ooh, it's big too. What is this one? That's part 2. That's part 2. Okay, so this is going to be part 2. And it's a nice weight of paper too. It's not glossy, as you can tell, but it's a thick weight. And that's part one. What do you guys think about the Project A movies? I have not seen them. You guys know I've been pretty open about my struggle with comedic martial arts, Jackie Chan movies and Sammo Hung movies. It does not ring my bell, but I know it does for a lot of you guys. What do you think about these movies? Talk to me about them. Listen, I appreciate... Holy cow. This is dense. This is... How many pages? How many pages this is? This is about 100 pages. And it is... Look at how dense this is. Holy mackerel. That is a tasty burger. Do you mind if I wash it down? Let's see. Thorsten Boos wrote Labor of Love. Jackie's Plan A worked out. Paul Bramhall wrote Project A, No Plan B. And Someone Will Know Me is an interview with Roberta Chow by Thorsten Boos. Nice. All right. Well, we got some Jackie Chan cheesecake here for the ladies or for whoever. Here is the two films. The two films. I'll frame myself right here in the middle. Hey guys. Let's see. Oh, here. Flip that around. A lot of stuff there. New 4K restorations. Are these? These are 4K. I just realized these are both 4K. Oh my goodness. So I told you we're going to discover them together. I don't have the time to research these properly anymore before I come to you guys. I'm just, like I said, I'm holding on to the roller coaster here. 4K remasters of the Hong Kong cut. The 4K remasters of the Hong Kong cut feature new interviews. Let's see. Cantonese and Mandarin language. What is the... okay, 4K restorations for both cuts. The Hong Kong and the Taiwanese cut. The Taiwanese cut is... We go from 106 minutes to 115 minutes. And then numerous features. Freeze it. You know you want to. Here's part 2. These videos are going to be so long. That's why I only do them like once a month. Because if I was doing these like as soon as they came in, I'd be making videos every single day. And you would never, like, there'd be no time to watch anything. There'd be no time to do my commentary work. Which, by the way, I'm loving doing commentaries. I feel like that's a natural fit for me. That's a natural extension of what I started here. 4K and Blu-ray. What's the reversible art here? It's that. All right, I'll flip that later. And then here's this one. It's cool little cards here. Nice. Oh, they have different, it's all different on the back too. Anyway, it's been tremendously validating to be able to do commentaries, because my frequent complaint about YouTube is that this is not a platform for substance. And anytime I try to have substance here, I'm quickly made aware that that's not what the majority of people want. They just want videos like this. Just hold up a bunch of stuff, get the endorphin rush of new products that you don't have to buy to see somebody talking about them. But that's not all I want to do, you know? So enter the commentaries, my writings at CerealAtMidnite.com. Don't forget about those. There's a whole lot going on outside of Cereal at Midnight besides just these new release videos, is I guess the point. All right, more from 88 Films. To Kill a Mastermind. This is Shaw Brothers martial arts from 1979. Let's see what this reversible art looks like. Ooh, there's a ton of stuff, man. Ooh. Yeah, go ahead and flip that. We have lobby cards, or art cards. Whoa, I skipped one. There we go. Nice. Put these back together in a second here. What do we got? We've got HD transfer from the original negative in its widescreen aspect ratio, and reversible art. Okay, that's slim. Special features. I guess a lot of the attention went into the Project A collection. And this is not put in quite properly, so let me adjust this really quick. Also trying to keep my editing minimal so that I can get this posted quickly. The Golden Lotus. Oh, cannot show. Nope, cannot show the back of this box. Well, here I can do this. Even that's probably pushing it. Here, freeze that. There's going to be something else coming up here in a minute I cannot show you either. Limited edition slipcase with artwork by Thomas Walker. 4 collectible art cards. HC transfer. Okay. Let's see here. Can I show? Yeah, okay. Flip that. And let us gaze upon... Is that Jackie Chan? Yep, Jackie Chan's in this. Get off, art cards. Or band. This paper monstrosity. Jackie. Okay. Like, what is going on in this movie? Okay. Going as quickly as possible. We're at a half an hour, and we're about halfway down the stack. Let's see. This is also from 88 Films. This is the Shaw Brothers. These are all Shaw Brothers, right? Yeah, another Shaw Brothers film. This is The Shadowboxing. From, hold on, when was Golden... The Golden Lotus was from 1974. This is from 1979, so another 79. I think that's my sweet spot. It's very late 70s and even into the early 80s. That's the one, probably because of my age, that's the one that seems, the era of these movies that I resonate the most with. Slipcase with artwork by Mark Bell, 4 collectible art cards. Okay, so these are pretty bare bones except for the presentation itself. Let's check out these art cards. You guys seen these movies? Let's talk about them. I've said this before, but every video is somebody's first video. My martial arts knowledge is pretty much limited to Bruce Lee and Sonny Chiba and like the heavy hitters, no pun intended, maybe a little bit of a pun intended, because that's what I had access to. Blockbuster moved into town, put the mom and pops out of business, and you were limited to what they had. Had I been a little older when the mom and pops were still in business, they probably would have had a lot of the stuff that I was more interested in. But they were gone by the time I was working, had my own job, and was renting my own movies. So you really had whatever the video store had. There was not a lot of this stuff at the video store. A lot of it popped up at like the dollar VHS. Like you'd buy a movie at the dollar store for, you know, and it was just like a 4th generation copy of a copy of a copy, and you'd pay $1 for it, or maybe it'd be $5 or whatever, and it would look like hot garbage. So access to this stuff is really difficult for me, and I just don't have a knowledge of it. My knowledge is primarily studio-based movies because that's what I had access to. This is also from, this is Eureka. We're moving into Eureka. We got 2 releases from Eureka, both martial arts in nature. This is Yun Biao, The Champions. This is a sports, action, and comedy colliding Golden Harvest's The Champions, the precursor to Shaolin soccer. For the first time of Hong Kong martial arts cinema, the inimitable Yun Clan. Yun Clan? Okay. Limited O-card, new artwork by Darren Wheeling. We've got 2K restoration. Get ready. Let's see. English newly translated subtitles. I like these newly English translated subtitles because they're better. You know, I don't necessarily have a frame of reference, but if they're improved, that's good. Brand new audio commentary by East Asian film experts Frank Zhang, who I love, and F.J. DeSanto. Has he popped up on one of these before? I know F.J. DeSanto. I don't know him. I know who he is. I know him from the Star Wars world. Brand new audio commentary by action cinema experts Mike Leader and Arn Vinema. Brand new featurette by CFK looking at the Okay. What does... Oh, we got cards in here. Oh, I've already flipped this around. Wait, no, I haven't flipped this. Somebody flipped this around. This came flipped. This came flipped, you guys. Or maybe I flipped it and I just don't remember doing it, which is very likely. We have two. Wow. Little cards. And here's our booklet. Oh! This is what I'm gonna cosplay as this for Halloween. All right. One more from Eureka, and then we're moving out of martial arts land into something very, very forbidden. Two Taoist Tales. Taoism Drunkard and the Young Taoism Fighter. It's actually Taoist, right? The Taoist, two Taoist tales. I'm gonna get. Okay, I corrected myself. Okay, get away from the keyboard. I corrected myself. More mad martial arts mayhem from the Yun Clan. These are from. Give me a year. I want a year. I don't see a year. Oh, 1984 and 1986. Cool. That's nice. Limited edition O-card slipcase featuring artwork by Darren Wheeling. Wait a minute. We've got brand new audio commentaries by Frank Jang. Brand new audio commentaries on both films by Mike Leader and Art Vinema. Brand new interview with filmmaker James Mudge. Trailers, reversible sleeve. Cool. All right. As always, seen them? What do you think? I think nobody ever says anything. That's the thing. Like, occasionally I hear from somebody. Oh, here's Taoism. These are different. Okay, there's Taoism. Taoism Drunkard. Taoism Drunkard. And... what was it again? The Young Taoist Fighter. I ask you guys what you think about it. I don't think a lot of us have seen these. I think we're all kind of in the same boat. Where it's like, I don't know, but it looks cool. And it does, Timmy. It really does. What is going on here? What is happening here? What has he got in his mouth? Oh, it's not in his mouth. Okay. And then, here's the book. See, Daniel O'Brien, Katarzyna and Kuta. Okay. Now, this next one, I can't really show you. I can show you the cover. Okay, so another Cheeky by Tinto Brass has arrived on 4K from Cult Epics. This is the third one of these that they've restored in 4K. There's not a lot to talk about here. I can't even show you. I can't show you the back. Can I show you the... Yeah, I'll show you that. That's got a reversible slipcover too. I can't show you that. These are erotic. Tinto Brass, if you don't know, worked in erotic cinema. And it's not really the lane here of Serial at Midnight. Serial at Midnight is kind of designed to, like, we stay up watching martial arts movies or science fiction movies. Or we're up watching the Chronicles of Riddick is what we're doing. And then we follow that up with Dark Knight of the Scarecrow. I don't know. The point is, I don't generally talk about adult fare. And I will say that all of these have looked... I have not... I checked picture quality to see what the 4K was like. Because that's a thing, right? Is like, well, how does it look on 4K? Super nice film grain. Looks very cinematic. These are high quality 4K transfers. I know a lot of you guys want to know that. Audio commentary by Eugenia Arcolani and Nathaniel Thompson. We've got, it's the movie on Blu-ray, the movie on 4K. It's got the art cards for Repro Italian lobby cards. They all have nudity on them, so I'm not going to show them here. It amazes me that, like, did these movies play in wide theaters, or did they play only on, like the 42nd Street style theaters in Italy? Like, did they play in adult cinemas, or did they play everywhere? Because I can't imagine you go to see, like, a kid's movie. Like, you're a kid, you go to see a kid's movie, and there's the lobby card for a Tinto Brass movie. Just showing it all. I can't imagine that, but maybe that's what was going on. I don't know. Anyway, it for what it is, it's very well done, and I guess they're doing pretty well because Cult Epics keeps putting these out. From Radiance, we have 3 titles from Radiance. This is A Man on His Knees, Damiani from 1979. This is, let's see, what do we have here? Oh, Juliana Gemma, Eleonora Giorgi, and Michelle Placido. Let's see, new 4K restoration from the original camera negative. Archival interviews with Giuliano Gemma from The Good, the Bad, no, from the Sergio Leone Clint Eastwood Westerns, right? That's two of those? Let's see. New interview with Alberto Pizzotta. Struggling, guys, because I'm trying to go fast, which is my downfall. And even then, people go, it's too long. It's too... You just can't please everybody, can you? Maybe you can't please anybody. Should remember that. I'm going to hold this up. You guys can read the Obi strip there. I haven't read it myself yet. Let's see. He's a regular guy working on a kiosk, learning from a friend that he's been put on a mafia hit list and is being stalked by an assassin. Featuring stunning turns from both leads, Damiano Damiani applies his trademark realism and socio-political commentary. Nice. Ooh. Ooh, that's getting flipped. That is cool. That is oozing with... I'll have to do it later because of the Obi strip. All right. Now I've already made the Obi strip off center now. Way to go. Okay. Also from Radiance, Tattooed Life, Japanese, 1965. What do we got here? We got a high definition transfer, audio commentary by William Carroll, newly edited archival interviews. Okay, what is this about? Worldwide Blu-ray premiere. Hold on, worldwide Blu-ray premiere for both of these, and the third one is a UK-US Blu-ray premiere. All right. A low-level Yakuza is double-crossed his boss and attacked. His younger brother comes to his aid and kills the assailant. Don't tell me everything, guys. Fearing repercussions from the Yakuza, they flee to Manchuria, where they risk coming under suspicion of rival gangs. Okay, we got audio commentary. Okay, yeah. What's this look like? Oh, that's nice. The manic presentation of these that I'm giving you guys, where I'm just like, I gotta get this out. That is actually how I feel most days when this stuff shows up. I'm like, I gotta get this in front of the camera as quickly as I can. And I harken back to the days when I would be able to watch all of them and write reviews for all of them and talk to you about what I think about every single movie. And sometimes I still get to do that, but it's becoming more and more difficult as this stuff, I mean, and you know, because you're not even trying to cover it, you're just trying to keep up with it for your own collection. And it's more than anybody can get to. Viva la Muerta. French. Let's see, French. Filmed by Fernando Arrabal, 1971. New 4K restoration of the original camera negative, 35mm. Audio discussion from the Projection Booth podcast. Very nice. Short documentary by, let's see, okay. You guys see that? What does the, oh goodness, that's bleak. I'm not going to show the booklet for this because there's already things that I know it's not going to go well with you. I can show the inside. I just maybe not show the cover. Here's the table of contents. Wow, this seems really dark. There's various corpses and rats eating things, and body parts, etc. Now, what is this? Let's see. As the Spanish Civil War draws to a close, Fando, a young boy, is tormented by violently conflicting feelings towards his mother, who he suspects may have had a role in his father's capture by the fascists. Wow, yeah, that's going to be a heavy, heavy watch. Not a heavy watch. Actually, I can't say because I haven't seen it yet. My Love Affair with Marriage. This is getting a heavy push. This is from MVD Visual. A heavy push from Matthew Modine. It's an animated film I don't think it's for children necessarily. This is not rated. But from an early age, songs and fairy tales convinced Zelma that love would solve all her problems as long as she abided by societal expectations of how a girl should act. But as she grows older, something doesn't seem right with this concept of love. The more she tries to conform, the more her body resists. Yeah, that's some serious subject matter here. And Modine has been really active promoting this film, so I know he believes in it a lot. Did he produce it? I am looking here. I don't see him in the producers. I mean, he's in the cast. All right. All right, we have 2 left. William Moseley in The Ballad of Davy Crockett. Another one I have not seen. This comes from MVD Visual in association with VMI Releasing. This is going to be, let's see, The Ballad of Davy Crockett, set in 1815, tells the story of an American legend whose wife has fallen deathly ill, leaving his young children to survive on their own. He fights his way back to them across the many perils in the wild frontier. Well, that sounds pretty good. There's a whole lot of these movies that are made digitally and then sold to the highest bidder. And you'll see various people picking these up, and they are... I don't know if this is the case here. A lot of them, they are content, right? They exist as an asset, as content. I don't know if that's the case here. I do love Westerns, so this is going to be something that I will eventually check out. And if I like it, I'll write a review for it. If I don't like it, I don't know that I want to spend the time on it. This is the last thing, Max Steiner, Maestro of movie music. When I was at Cinecon in Los Angeles earlier this month, the filmmaker behind this, Diana Friedberg, who you, by the way, go to dianafriedberg.com here. Make sure that, well, I'll put it here, dianafriedberg.com, and I'm gonna link to it in the description of this episode as well. Came up to me and said, you have a YouTube channel, because I presented a movie. People that were there knew that I had a YouTube channel that I talked about physical media, and she said, would you check out my documentary? It's streaming on Max, but I would be happy to give you a Blu-ray copy. If you want to talk, if you like it, you can talk about it with your audience. She gave me a Blu-ray copy. I watched it. I loved it. And I'm talking about it for my audience because Max Steiner, probably the film music composer most closely associated with creating film music as we know it, for scoring movies, starting as the silence turn into sound. He's there. And then, guys, Gone with the Wind. And now I'm going to start trying to name names. We have a list here on the back to help me out here, the cheat sheet. I mean, it's Gone with the Wind, Casablanca. So many films. Some of the great themes come from Max Steiner. And this is there's a lot of documentaries that exist as product. And there's people that don't want me talking to you about this because I'm exposing the business model. They sell you a product. It's a product. They're selling you nostalgia. The documentary is just a side effect. It's just a tangible thing that you can sell. This is not that. This is the equivalent of reading a book about Max Steiner. It is dense. It is every second of 2 hours long, and it is filled with fascinating real-life detail about Max Steiner, about his career, about his private life, about where he came from, about his parents. It is like reading a biography. I guess... it could have been, I would like to know before this was a 2-hour final cut, like what was some of the earlier cuts. I'm going to probably guess like 4 or 5 hours because, Diana Friedberg she's an editor as well. She's done a lot with editing. And if you go to her website, you can see a lot of the projects she's been involved with, and you can buy this Blu-ray as well. You can get the disc, but remember it's streaming on HBO. It's not HBO Max. It's streaming on Max. And you can check it out. But if you want to own it on physical media, this is how you have to do it. She was delightful. I had a great time talking to her. She teased her next project, which sounds amazing. And I said, how long did it take you to make the movie? And she said, I think she said 47 years. And I was like, what? She's like, it's been a labor of love my entire life to get this movie made. And she did it, and it is absolutely wonderful. If you love the history of movies, like me, if movies are more than just entertainment, if they're more than just something to collect and put on your shelf, if you love movies, the magic of movies, and the people that make that magic possible, highly, highly recommend Max Steiner, Maestro of movie music. Guys, Whew, that is it. We did it. Let me know what you guys think about the movies that you've seen. And we can continue the conversation in the comments below. Remember to support Hamilton Book, the sponsor for this episode. Link in the description of this episode as well. Many of the titles we just talked about are now or will be showing up on Hamilton Book. And I'm just really grateful for their sponsorship for this episode. It's a match made in heaven because I believe in them, I love them, and I support them. It's something I truly buy. I support Hamilton Book with my own money. Not just movies, but also books. So of course, the book and Hamilton Book, like they always have great movie books and music books and biographies. And I'm an avid reader. So like learning about movies and the history of this stuff, great resource for that. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this one up. Thank you. I appreciate you. Subscribe, give thumbs up so you never miss a video like this. But remember that the algorithm is not always your friend. The algorithm is only going to serve you what you're already watching. So if you're like, this guy only unboxes stuff and shows off new releases, that is so not all this channel is about. Make sure you're digging into the actual archive with interviews, with deep dives into various movies. And so, you know, I've done lengthy videos about Casablanca, about film noir, about westerns. There's so much here. This is literally the tip of the iceberg. I don't want this to be all that you think that I do, because it's just the beginning. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. Take care. Till next time, I will catch you later.